So now at this point, you gotta have it to this point. Sam, do you know what I write next?
Do you? I am not sure.
Not sure? All right, that's fair enough. Okay, Grant?
In parentheses, x squared plus 4, parentheses, 2x minus 3.
Okay, in your one parentheses, you take what the GCF parts are. Because basically, this is our new GCF, is a 2x minus 3, because they both have that. And so it doesn't matter which order you put them in. If you put the 2x minus 3 out in front, or the x squared plus 4, those are the same. But that's where they're typically not going to be the same, and a lot of you kept writing like 2x minus 3 and 2x minus 3. Kind of had, you forgot to put the GCF part. All right, so using that as a guide, this second one. In this minus sign, it's going to pose something you just got to be careful of. All right, what's the GCF? Evan of the first two.
2x squared.
2x squared. 2 goes into 6, 2 goes into 10, and they both have an x squared. Now, since this is a negative, make your GCF negative. Automatically do that, and it's going to be -3. That's what goes into both 9 and 15. Cannot have an x because the 15 doesn't have an x. Now, 2x squared goes out in front, parentheses, divide both of those by 2x squared, and I get 3x minus 5. We want the other parenthesis to match up. We want it to also have 3x minus 5. Make this term. Don't just put a 3. You've got to make that a -3. And what is -9x divided by -3? Negative divided by negative is a positive. So it's positive 3x. 15 divided by -3 is a -5. So you got to treat that as a -3 when you're dividing both of them, so those signs flip. And then now, do you match up? Do the two parentheses match up? Yeah. They're both 3x minus 5. So you can take the 3x minus 5 as your first group. 2x squared minus 3 is your second group. Okay. 2x minus 5, or 3x minus 5 and 2x squared minus 3. Okay, so that's your second group. All right, we're going to have to keep hitting these because they're good. Part of this whole chapter. They're going to come up here in a couple of days as well. Homework-wise, these were the ones that you had to do. Take a second here, and we're going to stay on this same stuff, okay? We're not going to move too far ahead, but take a look at what you had. If they're switched, the order's switched, that's fine, but the signs have to be the same. And here's through about 23.
No.
Somebody double check and see if you submitted your homework, because there's only like, I don't know, a third of you that got credit.
Okay.
I put in a lot of zeros.
Samantha Morgan.
Mr. Schiller, do you know if mine submitted?
Was that for now?
Yes.
Did not.
Okay.
Oh, Jay-Z, another one.
No.
Thank you. It's fine.
What is that?
They're also writing.
What?
They're also writing.
I didn't get it.
Hold on.
I didn't get
Hold on. Let's get this straight.
Can I have one? I feel kind of
Oh,
That was just
Yeah.
Oh, oh, I knew you were like. I know you're good with that. Yeah.
Sam,
Oh
He said I like bread. I just did.
World studies is literally the easiest class.
Dude, Mr. Six doesn't teach us.
I feel like Mr. Viscount, Mr. Viscount, you didn't have to get class.
I know, I don't see why you're confused.
Literally just gives you a Word document, a PowerPoint, and says, fill in information. And then we're taking tests.
I don't know, but I was still right. So
Exactly. Basically, he just talks, and then
he just walks in. Yeah, I got it.
basically, he just gives us a PowerPoint Word document and says, fill in information.
You know,
Is it up now?
You don't.
Yeah,
Okay. Should be turned in now.
okay.
All right, here's your second set. 24 should be x minus 3, x minus 6. 25 is x minus 4 times x minus 8. 26, x plus 4, x minus 3.
Some of them. Those make some.
27, x plus 7 times x minus 3. Preston. 28 is x plus 12 times x minus 3. 29, x minus 13, x plus 1. 30, x minus 12, x plus 2. 31 is x minus 7 times x plus 5. And then 32 is n minus 15, and that should be an n plus 3. This should be the same letter. Or both x's, I'm not sure which one. All right, did you go through 36?
No, 31.
31?
I didn't do 32.
I just had it at 31?
Yeah.
Okay, then don't worry about those others. Don't worry about those. Okay, just pay attention to this. And then we'll finish up your guided notes. All right, Zane,
Yeah,
you remember anything about this at all?
yeah.
Could you tell me what we're trying to do here?
Just try to factor it.
Okay, do you know what the answer would be for the first one?
Maybe.
What do you think?
Actually, no.
Actually, no. Josh, you?
Yeah.
What would it be?
Can we group them all together? Can we?
No. No. Joe? No.
X plus 2 in parentheses times x plus 4.
Okay.
So this could be that.
Now, he's correct.
Please elaborate.
Now, hold on here. If you FOIL, x times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 4 is 8. When I multiply, I get that back. Now, there's something we're looking for. It's not just magic. It's not voodoo to use the 2 and 4. What did we talk about last week? I know it's been a while, so we spend another day on it. Is we're looking for two numbers that multiply to equal the last number and add to equal the middle number.
Oh, I remember that.
2 times 4 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. Now, if you can't think of it in your head, what you do is this is where we did the table. We said, all right, all the multiples of 8 are 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. And then 1 plus 8 is 9, but 2 plus 4 is 6. So that means those two values have to work. Now, if you can think about it without doing the chart, that's fine, but the chart is always an option. So number 2, like I said, just pay attention here. X squared minus 10x plus 10. They have to multiply to equal 21. but they have to add to equal negative 10. That tells us something about their signs. What, Jordan, what do both their signs have to be?
Negative.
Negative. Do you know the numbers?
-3, -7.
-3, -7. So it's going to be x minus 3 times x minus 7. Negative times a negative is positive 21. Those add up to -10. That's the only way that will work. Okay, so that's all we're looking for. It's two numbers that multiply to get 21, add to get 10. If this last number is a negative, they multiply to equal -12. They add to equal 4. Well, the only way two numbers can multiply to get negative is one of them is positive, one of them is negative. All right, so start with the multiplying. What two numbers, can anybody think of what numbers would work? Multiply to get -12, add to get 4. Sam?
Would it be -2, 6?
So -2 times 6 is -12, and -2 plus 6 is +4. So yes, it would have to be x minus 2, x plus 6. Since they have to add to get positive, the bigger number has to be positive. Okay? But they still have to be one positive, one negative. All right, look at that last one. See if you can figure out what it is. Okay, just kind of in your head. Okay. Amanda, you know what they are?
No.
Not yet? All right, keep thinking. Jordan?
-2, 10.
All right. -2, you're close. He says -2 and 10. What's slightly wrong with that? Oh, George's back up.
2 -7.
2 -10, because what do those add up to? Those add up to -8, and we want it to add up, or excuse me, they have to +8, and we want it to add up to -8. So x plus 2 times x minus 10. All right, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Now, from your guided notes, this is where we were. This is on the back of your guided notes from Friday. Yep, on that back. I don't have any extra here, so I don't. Here. I think they were.
You don't want to. Hey, Evan.
Rachel, you got it?
Hey, Evan.
What?
I seen it in science. What we're doing, we're getting our tests back, and all I see is Evan just scrolling through.
All right.
Facebook Market.
Now, this is a key thing, and this is like where Jordan kind of faces mistake and where you need to really think through things. You gotta know your signs. You gotta know your signs. And what I mean by that, if the problem, it looks like this, x squared plus bx plus c. And that would be, let's say, x squared plus 9x plus 27. And put that right underneath that. Put that right, like, do an example as well. We're gonna do an example and write down the general rule. Then, I'm looking, then, these both need to be pluses. And I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to get 27 and add to get 9. So think about that. What would the numbers be that multiply to get 27 and add to get 9? 3 and, oh wait, I screwed this one up. Yeah, I screwed this one up. So make this, hold on. Yep, that one didn't work. Make that an 18. Make that an 18. That's going to work a little bit better. Okay, call it
6 and 3.
6 and 3. So that now it's going to be x plus 6 times x plus 3. So all I need you to know is if these are both pluses in the original problem, these have to be both pluses in the answer. Always. Always. All right, now this next one, if it's x squared minus bx plus c, is that below it or to the right? It's to the right. What do your signs have to be?
Negative.
Both of them have to be negative. So just put a negative here and a negative here. All right, let's take a look at an example. See if I can make up one that works. X squared minus 10x plus 24. X squared minus 10x plus 24. George, you know what it is?
-4, -6.
He says -4, -6. Well, do they multiply to get positive 24? Yep. Do they add to get -10? Yep. So if you got this case, you got a minus in the middle, you got a plus, they both have to be negative. No other options. Okay, find this next case. If x squared plus bx minus, if you got a plus and a minus, then what must be your signs? Okay, what must be your sign?
One positive, one negative.
One positive and one negative. Okay? Let's take a look at an example. What if I have x squared plus 5x minus 14? Think about that. Okay, think about that. Sam?
Would it be -2 and 7?
-2 and 7. I'm going to put the plus first. That doesn't matter. X plus 2, or excuse me, x plus 7, x minus 2. Okay, a little bit of a, one thing you want to be careful of. If that's the case, if the middle number is positive, that means the bigger number has to be positive. Okay, so the bigger number has to be positive. Okay, the bigger number has to be positive. And in the last case, x squared minus bx minus c. Okay, then what do my signs have to be as well? All right. One of them still is positive and one of them still is negative. That's not changing because they have to multiply to get a negative. So if I got x squared minus 11x minus, what am I going to use here? 26. What's that going to equal? Okay, two numbers that multiply to get -26, add to get -11.
Oh, that's 2.
2 and -13. So it's going to equal x plus 2, x minus 13. The bigger number here will be what? The bigger number has to be negative. Bigger number has to be negative. All right, and just you got a little bit of room down there. This is these. I'm gonna give you two real quick ones that tend to cause some problems. So we'll put these at the bottom. What if you got x squared minus x minus 12? Think about what that answer would be. Whenever it's just like a minus x, there's no number in front of it, people tend to make it harder than it is. Because there's really a number in front of it, but what? A 1. So what am I looking for? I want two numbers that multiply to equal -12 and add to equal -1. What could those two numbers be? Connor?
Would be 1 and -11.
All right, let me write it down. All right, first of all, Connor, did those actually multiply to get -12? All right, well, you saw your mistake. Colin,
3 and -4.
he says 3 and -4.
That was good.
If there's a 1 in the middle, those two numbers have to be right next to each other, like 3 and 4. One positive, one negative, or 5 and 6, or 8 and 9. One, and that just tends to, you kind of tend to forget that. So what if I have x squared plus x minus 30? Think about that. Okay, they still gotta multiply, and they have to multiply to get negative 30 first. You always do the multiplication part first. Okay, multiplication. Joe?
3 and negative 10.
No, because 3 plus negative 10,
I don't even know.
3 plus negative 10 actually add up to negative 7. Okay, Sam?
Negative 5 and 6.
Good, x minus 5, x plus 6. If you can't figure them out, you do a chart. You can't figure them out, you do a chart. Come up with those. All right. These problems, we just got to practice. So we're going to do the front of this together, or you're going to do the front of this, kind of go over together, and then we'll get to the back for homework. So we want to take, obviously usually doesn't take too long, so about 5 minutes to do the front. And the front looks like that. That's back.
Dude, I don't even know how to.
I'll give you 20% of my brain.
You're a bot. You're in.
I'll play some.
I just need an 8%.
I'll play more.
And I give you 20%.
Okay, keep those notes out in front of you right now. You've got 5 minutes. Get as far as you can on the front. Go. You got 5 minutes. Get as far as you can. Use those notes that you had so they can help you with the signs. If you really get stuck on one, go ahead and skip it. I don't want you to spend all 5 minutes staring at one problem.
Further down, how deep it goes. I'm assuming they're trying to get surgery next week. So, I don't know. What is cancer loss?
You're calling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We get to comes Monday. So we got some more pictures over the weekend. Monday was this past Monday was a mess. This when the surgeon that did the surgery doesn't work there anymore. December, mid-December.
So.
We're not using negative after.
Only one pair to go. And my wife did like,
Yes, they're both nice.
Yeah.
they just act like what are the parents of this? Sometimes like you want to see it, it's like come at her, is it like come to the restaurant? Record your hopes it doesn't work. And every single time, like no doctor's ever seen it, it's a fluke. She has surgery. So they got to choose it. And then
Yep.
call it the clinic. They're able to get her in.
13, I think.
So then they get more parents, they'll back her up to Willoughby. And just get like that.
That's another, they're both negative again.
So, and then she's just a little shady. Starts smelling. Second children's calls me and says, hey, we want to do the MRI. On Thursday, we were able to like basically circumvent the insurance. Because they had to wait for the insurance to approve it. And then we'll do it Thursday. You gotta come in right now to get COVID. So she can leave Willoughby, go back and children's.
No, that's
And that was, and I was home all day because it's only 1:30.
Maybe
10 to
9.
9.
Yeah.
Yes, she got to go test. I came back negative. But yeah, just nothing negative.
Your number has to be
I can't see this. So like,
Making sense? No, 13 times 2 is 26. That would be
Yeah.
right. It would be 12 times.
Oh, we haven't even done mine so close. This is not-
This is hard. This, yeah, this is like, all these numbers are just.
20,
No, it'd be,
the first one was negative 1 and 10.
Alright,
No,
now,
no.
8.
it's 2.
It's 2, yeah.
So wait, we're they both are negative. So
Both of them are this side.
It's not right.
I think it says the rule is they both have to be, you have the sheet still on.
Yeah.
I said sheet.
Negative.
Sheet.
Negative 8.
Number has to be, the bigger number has to be.
No, negative 9.
But look at this.
Yeah.
Where's the other?
I knew it was good.
alright, you got them all.
That's the answer?
What numbers are
Then-
all? Start with
Yeah.
your
Square.
Either way, 1 positive. So it's first one positive.
What's next?
So it's
So it just has to be the numbers.
plus 10 and then minus 2.
So there's
Okay,
3.
you go
I
like that.
like to.
8.
Four.
What is
Negative.
it? I mean, you could say.
Yeah.
Five.
Negative 10.
Alright.
Okay.
So just put W minus 10.
Oh,
W
yeah.
equals 2.
Totally, this is insane.
This is like brain numbing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I actually do.
B would be the, negative 6.
Alright, keep working here, keep working. Give me a couple more minutes.
Negative 5B.
Oh.
This is the hardest work shit I've ever done.
One of them has to be positive. Did you say plus 5? I was gonna say, I wrote down the wrong answer.
And then.
Negative 9 times 3, negative 1 times negative 9 plus 3, negative
Going to the last
Alright, that's
spot, so
17.
9 and
That's a
3,
2.
right?
Yes.
Alright, 17
9
times
and
3.
3. Yes. It would
Negative
be
9 plus 3.
negative 9.
So that would be that.
So,
Okay,
this is
so
9
9.
plus 9.
Here, then a negative 2, and then a positive 8, 1 down.
Yep. Whatever you want.
Well, I have a good computer. I
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one did you not do? The first one. The first one you did. X minus 9, X minus 5. Because 9 plus 5 is 16, and then 9 times 5 is 45.
Because the second number is
That would be,
So,
what is that, 6 and
There's no
9?
way.
it's Q plus 8,
We have.
Alright, Connor.
and then Q minus 7.
8 minus 7. Yep. 56. Like 9 and 6 and 8 and 7?
Or just has to equal Q, because.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, bro, like my head is hurting.
multiplying is
How we doing?
This would be,
plus 14. That's good.
so this one right number has to be, the big
6
number
and
has
6.
to be.
15 times 3 is gonna
It can be,
Yeah, that's correct. 36 divided by 3.
15 plus 3 would be
7. Yep. 36 divided by 3.
Oh, you had it, it's 12 to 30.
That's 12.
9
You stuck on that? What we said, we have a one, and that's what it is, nine votes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'd be X squared T plus 9.
Okay, so here, look at the sign first. Alright, that tells you what?
I don't have shit, that's why I'm stuck.
Well, you're gonna have
The
the chart.
chart, start with the chart, what multiplies equals negative 30?
You go automatically. No,
Multiplies
this tells you.
equals negative 30.
5 minus.
And what do they add up to?
Is -10 and -3.
Okay, so the bigger number has to be negative, so you start with 1 times negative 30. What else multiplies to get negative 30? 2 and what?
Negative 15.
3 and what? Is 4 divided into 30?
Positive.
Can I get a 2 out of
5 and what?
Like divide them.
Okay, and then we go to 6 and 5, so you only need to repeat. What do those add up to?
Yeah. So your bigger number is 7, so you gotta do y plus 7.
16.
Y minus.
That's my answer.
4 and 4. What that
Yeah,
goes,
so I was-
Here first, it tells you different signs.
2 and 8.
The bigger one's gonna be negative.
So
Yeah, yeah.
positive 2 and negative.
Plus 2 X minus 8.
All right, I know you're not all the way done, which is fine, but let's just take a look through these, make sure you understand. All right, I'm actually gonna start at the very bottom just for one problem, because it looks like, because of the 48. All right, for 17, if you get stuck, you need to have a plan to get unstuck. Here's the plan, is you do the chart, you say, all right, what multiplies? This is for 17. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to, Allie, what number do they have to multiply to? Negative 48, make sure you include the negative. So they multiply to equal negative 48, and what do they have to add up to, Allie? So they add up to positive 2. So if I look at my rules from that on the back of that sheet, to multiply to get a negative and add to get a positive, the bigger number, one of them has to be negative, one of them has to be positive, and the bigger one has to be positive. So that means, and you start with the factors of 48. And if you list them in order, you won't skip any. So negative 1 times 48, negative 2 times 24, negative 3 times what? Use your calculator if you need to. Negative 3 times what equals 16, Morgan?
16.
Or that's what I meant, sorry, 16. How about negative 4? 12. 5 doesn't go into it, does 6 go into it?
6 and 8.
Negative 6 and 8. Now after that, you go back to 8 times negative 6. You don't need to repeat. Negative 1 plus 48 is 47. Negative 2 plus 24 is 22. Are either of those the answer? No, because what are we looking for? Positive 2. Negative 3 plus 16 is 13. Negative 4 plus 12 is 8. Negative 6 plus 8 is 2. There's my answer. X minus 6 times x plus 2. Okay? All right, Evan, what'd you get for number 1?
X plus 4 in parentheses and then X plus 1 in parentheses.
Okay, that is correct. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Tommy, what'd you get for 2?
X plus 7, X plus 2.
Well, I'm going to use the W since it has it. And since this one has different letters too, throws you off a little bit. But just use the W. But that's correct. That's correct. Okay, Austin, how about number 3?
Y plus 3, Y plus 12.
Y plus 3 times Y plus 12. So those are all correct because 3 times 12 is 36. 3 plus 12 is 15. So take a look what you got. Josh, how about 4?
X subtracted by 9, and then X subtracted by 5.
X minus 9, X minus 5. Correct.
You can say minus.
Jay Lee, how about 5? You didn't get that one. All right, 5. Joe.
J minus 3. J minus 3.
J minus 3. Okay, that is correct. When the numbers get a little bit bigger, yes, it does get a little bit harder. You just might have to do a chart. 6. Sam.
I got n minus 9, n minus 10.
Okay. All right, so we are running out of time. What I need you to do is I'm just gonna have you do
W minus 10, W plus 4.
on the back, just do the left-hand side. Finish the front.
Oh, the back?
Oh,
What is this? We're not have to do
Finish
25.
the front. And then just do the left-hand side on the back. That is it.
Are we doing 25 or not?
No, don't do the 25.
Oh.
Don't do 25.
I didn't do 25 in mine. I didn't go in this.
Okay.
I was sorry.
Next